Hi, how you guys doing? Let me share my screen and we'll get started here. It's actually at the end, so let me go back. Okay, so what we're doing today is just looking at a few notes that I haven't covered yet. And basically they're mainly over Act 1 and 2, and then whenever we go back, or tomorrow's virtual. But then on Tuesday, I plan on giving you notes over Act 3, and then we will, finish the play. There's still some things that you don't know that once you know them, I don't know it's pretty cool. There's still some irony going on, meaning that the audience doesn't know. And so, just looking at comedy in general, that it's definitely the opposite of a tragedy. And you guys have read Romeo and Juliet. Well, in a comedy, it's not obviously to that extreme that the love between Miranda and Ferdinand is not going to be so intense that it becomes tragic, and that the heroes are not the most important thing, so to speak. But what is important in comedies is how people are similar. And just like everyday life, just just like normal things that we that make us similar, I guess. And then, but in tragedies, it's the opposite. And so a lot of times it's that this group of people or this character is heroic or views life differently. And a lot of times, whatever trait that is ends up being a tragic flaw, meaning that's going to be that person's downfall. Act 1, Scene 1, what we're going to be looking at here, and it's going to be a theme that goes on throughout. And there's another theme that we'll be covering, or I'll be covering a little bit later. And this is the whole idea of wisdom. And keep in mind that the person in charge, or the king, the duke, whomever, that they are not always the wisest one. You assume that you would pick the wisest, the best person to rule, or to lead people, but that's not always the case. And so Antonio says, "Where's the master? Who should run the ship?" Well, a good king would let the people that know how to run the ship. You do these duties because you know how. I'll do these duties over here. That sort of thing. Now we're going to jump. It's still a political issue, but we're going to look at Caliban and Ariel. And both of them, neither one of them are completely human. Definitely, Ariel's not, but Caliban could be part human. And so he's definitely, he has these inhumane acts. He's evil. He's unruly. It's like he's heartless. And he has major issues with greed and lust. He knows shame or remorse. He's led by desires, threatened with pain instead of pleasure. And this is one concept that I want you to try to get: is slavery is freedom. That to him, he seeks a master. And so this is different because it's kind of like, why would someone want to be enslaved? Well, he wants to be enslaved by his desire. And so it's it's something we'll talk a little bit more about, but we won't get into a lot of detail about it. But just remember that all these people have different issues. They all have things about themselves that, I guess, they're not perfect in that sense. And so their imperfections or their basic need is going to be played upon for various reasons. With Ariel, Ariel doesn't want to master what Caliban did. And I'm skipping over the passion part. I probably need to take that part out. And, Prospero's friend desires freedom. So its biggest threat is the loss of freedom. And Ariel's loyal and then also praised by Prospero. Ferdinand, if you remember, he and Miranda have a thing for each other. And he's pretty proud. He says, I'm the best of them that speak this speech. And to Miranda, he says, I'll make you the Queen of Naples. Excuse me. He's led to believe that his father, King of Naples, died at shipwreck. And where Caliban was wanting to be enslaved, based on desire, and then Ariel just wanted freedom. Well, Ferdinand is the opposite of Ariel in the sense that he loves Miranda enough that it's like he's willing to be a servant, that he feels that if he is doing something, some kind of servanthood, that he is, I don't know, that it displays his love more, maybe. Nobility is servanthood. In a political vacuum, everyone runs for power. And so if no one's the leader, everybody wants to be the leader, if the king doesn't end up on the island. And so we have, the clowns in the play that end up linking up with Caliban. And Stefano is the main one that we're referring to here. And he's flattered by Caliban as though he's a god and says, that's a brave god and bears celestial liquor. Well, he goes from being just this average guy on the ship doing his duty to, hey, you're a god. Well, it's it it played on his desire for power, and we're going to see the outcome of that. And I think that's all. Yeah, those are all the notes that we have. So I'm going to just go over a few things. I don't know if I did at the beginning of the video, so if not, I'm going to say that you have a quiz tomorrow over the notes. Not over the notes, I meant over your reading of Act 3. And if I didn't tell your class to watch the video, obviously you watched it. And just remember, especially maybe like one difference. Let's see here. I was trying to think of what question would be. Let's go with theme. That'll be the easiest one. That in addition to the theme that I haven't gone over yet, the other theme that we'll be talking about is wisdom. How about that one? That question will be on your quiz tomorrow, along with just general questions over the reading. And money is due on Tuesday for your fundraiser. Don't forget about that. I think that's everything. And have a good day. Be safe. And I'll see you Tuesday. Bye.